who owns the company. He's actually based in Louisiana.
Gotcha.
And they get along really well.
Good.
Love what they do.
Good.
He'll learn. He'll learn. At least he knew.
Yeah. Loading it was the fun part. That was interesting too, yeah.
That's the one where you had to just slam on the brakes and load it up?
Yeah, yeah, uh-huh. We got it about a quarter way up on the trailer. He said, I'll just slam on my brakes.
That'd be the end of that ride. That's what I figured would happen. That's why I asked if we could push.
Uh-oh.
I think it might be at the back pond.
Say again?
I think the owner might be at the back pond.
Yeah.
Tell Alan to bring a tractor.
He had that thing going.
Look,
Get food.
You go ahead and get on there, I guess.
They got no keys to it.
Okay. I love the fact that you gentlemen walk around with a whole pan full of biscuits. That's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Gotta feed it.
That's
People
right.
doing all the hard work. What's y'all's name?
I'm Alex. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm Alan.
Alan, nice to meet you, sir. This is, I'm telling you guys, this is one of those experiences, best piece of advice I've ever had. When you're in an experience like this, you just take it all in.
See if you can pull it out.
And that's exactly what's happening. So
Yeah, you good.
And Alan, he owns the place. Well, he's already fished and canned.
Come on, baby. Whoa, 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 whoa.
That's not working.
Back it a little bit.
This is great. And
Where's your toe strap at?
I love Georgia. All right, everybody, this is Garrett. You work for this company, right?
Yeah, I'm the biologist.
You're the biologist. Yeah, you went to Texas A&M, right?
I did.
Yeah. Okay, so he's got a degree in biology from Texas A&M.
No forms of
Probably not as good as
communication.
University of Tennessee, but you know it is what it is.
I
We're all
get that everywhere I go. I'm in Louisiana a lot, so
Yeah.
I hear it from LSU.
yeah, and Shane would probably say that Georgia. Yeah. But anyway, so what we got here, man? Tell me about the boat.
Yeah, so this is an electrofishing boat. We use this to survey fish populations in lakes to make management goals custom to whatever the landowner wants to do. We look at his fish and we tell him how to get to where he wants to be. And so this boat magically floats all the fish. This is the brain behind the operations. This is the electrofishing box. It takes power from that generator. These booms will swing out to the front and it puts the power out through those booms, and then it makes a field between the boat and those booms, and fish will float up in that field for you to collect. And it's completely harmless to the fish. If you do it right, it's completely harmless to the fish. You put them in a cooler or something, they wake back up. You can weigh, measure them, put the ones back that you want to, and take the ones out that you don't want in there.
I dig it.
So, yeah.
Seems fairly simple. We're about to get after it on this pond. Shan says this pond's not going to be as good as some of the ponds we see today, but hey, we still do what the guy says that owns the place, which is Alan, and he's the guy that just screamed at Shan and handed me a pan of biscuits. It's going to be a good video, guys. This is a fun day. It's a fun day. So explain to me, what is voltage, ohms? Like, how do you measure this, and like how much are we putting out?
So it'll go by voltage, and your voltage will be based on your conductivity. So yesterday we shocked in really low conductivity water, so we were running 900 volts. And then some ponds we're shocking that have high conductivity water, so we'll shock as low as like 200, 250 volts. So it kind of depends on the water that you're in and the fish species that you're targeting.
That's interesting. That's really
Would this
interesting.
help?
So there's certain fish species that
Given this
need
microphone?
different volts than other fish species?
Right, yeah, scaled fish, they're gonna take a higher voltage because the scales kind of help protect them. So you need the higher volts to actually stun the fish. And then scaleless fish like catfish, you're running a lot lower volts, and it's a completely different shocking strategy.
Huh.
So
That's really cool. Thank you.
The question is, I kind of think we'd rather just this be a catfish pond.
Okay.
It's not very. It's got some depth in it in places. I dug it out myself with an excavator, and when I bought the property, this was just a marsh, just full of mud. We dug out hundreds of trucks of dirt. It was pretty deep at one time. I don't know how deep it is. There's a lot of 2 and 3 foot water. There's some 5 and 6 foot, but it varies from very top up there to.
it doesn't take much to grow catfish. You can grow them in a fishbowl if you want
I
to.
think in about 2-3 years. And let's leave the bluegill. I think there's a bunch of baby bluegill.
Yeah,
They
the
look
small ones
they
I would
look
definitely
a little
leave.
wider than. I don't think they were bass. The babies I saw.
That's the other thing. If they're not bluegill, we're taking them.
Yeah,
But if
anything
they
that's
are
not
bluegill,
anything that's not
leave
bluegill,
Yeah.
sunfish, brim. I don't know what's in there because
Who knows?
That's what this is for.
there were no fish in it when we started. I know that because it was a mud flat.
Yeah, yeah. So this is where your power actually comes in. That terrible sound is the lack of lubricant. But yeah, this is where the power actually is going to come out from that box, out into the water, and it makes a circuit with your boat.
Yeah.
And so these will lower down into the water to that red tape
Yeah.
for convenience.
For convenience. Interesting.
Oh, there you go.
Come here. Ah, I missed that one. Come here,
Get him?
buddy. There we go. It's a giant.
Bet you never thought you'd fish like this.
No, no, I did not. This is one of
This is
those
easy
that you just
fishing.
gotta add it to the list of cool things that I've done. Yeah, it's bluegill, I believe. Yeah. Look at that little juvenile.
What is that?
Beautiful though.
Yeah, a little bass. All right, hold on. We're stuck. Not a ton of fish in here.
No. What's the effectiveness rate of that? Like how many? There it is.
We're between the navigational beacons.
All right, let me get off. That way there's less weight on here.
That's probably.
I think winch it the rest of the way.
Yeah. It's a heavy boat.
It's a heavy boat. Like a glove.
All right.
Oh, alrighty then.
All right. That was crazy.
Let's keep on rolling, partner.
Y'all might be crazy. There's a nice bluegill right there. Look at
Yeah, he's a
look at
big
this one.
bluegill. I mean, look at that thing. That's a big bass.
Yeah, that's what we want. Believe in them. Yeah. Oh, what's that?
I don't know.
Where'd he go?
That there's a trout, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We probably killed that thing. They get hit hard.
Yeah.
No, take him out, take him out.
Take it out. Oh, we're taking them out.
He said they're gonna die anyway.
Oh, okay.
I want to eat that thing.
They eat pretty good.
Like with salmon, when they shock rivers, they're doing way low because salmon are notorious. They're too strong for their body structure. They'll kill themselves like that.
Huh.
They'll convulse and break their back.
That's crazy.
You can do that to bass and stuff too. That's why you got to check conductivity. If you're running too high, you can kill fish.
Wow. That's crazy.
Well, they'll kill themselves.
Yeah. That ain't too bad there, folks.
I try to stay away from the goose.
Well, you got me and Alan here with a couple big ones.
Look what I caught.
That's it. That's it. So this is Alan. He owns the ponds that we were shocking today.
Oh no, I used a hook. What are you lying
Oh,
about?
yeah,
Why
that's
you-
right, that's
why you
right.
making this stuff up?
So actually, you should have saw it. Alan dived in after this one after it come
Caught
off
him
on
with
a
my
buzz
shirt.
with his
I
shirt.
took my shirt off and,
And
caught
then,
him in my hand.
and then this one, you can see right there, the tail was bleeding. That's where he bit it. We was trying to get away from him, he bit it, but no.
Very exciting.
These are, this is awesome. Here's a scale right there. You can throw them on a scale.
Let's see.
But yeah, guys, some big largemouth. Took them out of there for management purposes. It's the reason we're taking them out. Alan also had some trout in there as well. So You're gonna have you a heck of a fish fry, buddy. I mean, that's probably.
I wish y'all could stay.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well,
That's
all right,
crazy,
let's
though.
see it.
One of the things I never thought that I would do in my life is shock up a bunch of fish for people to eat.
No, that's mine.
that aren't my
That's
fish
with
or
the
someone else. It's a weird day. It's
Five
a
and a
weird
half.
day, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm loving it. I'm so glad you guys are watching this. But we're about to throw this
5
in.
and a half.
5 and a half. And then there's this one right here. And then there's this one too. It's probably 4. That ain't that big. That ain't that big. I'm going, if that one's 5 and a half, that one's 5 and a half too. What is it?
5.
5 pounds, 2 ounces.
Just dump them in there.
Let's see what our 5 bass is. Hold on.
4.6. Yeah.
That's 4.5.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4,
Over that one, yeah.
5. Let's just see if we can fit them all in there.
Wow, that looks so big. That's 23 pounds.
25.
Heck yeah.
25 too.
25 too. There you go. 5 bass limit for 25 pounds. I have a shock boat. Ain't too bad.
Did you hook those hooks where they stick out?
Yeah.
Because there's a certain way to hook them. And if you don't do it that way, they'll rub
that
they'll
one
rub
right
the
there,
wrap.
I bet was smoking.
Like that
trout,
one's right. You see how it sticks out?
too. Yeah. I mean, that's bluegills and trout eaters all day.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you can tell, like, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
He can eat a fish that big.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
what people don't get. That big fits easy in
Yeah.
there.
And even then, they'll eat things long too.
Oh, it doesn't
and
matter
just
how
eat
long.
them down and
Yeah.
eat them down. I mean, I've caught them with bluegills hanging out of their mouth that far, and you just watch them crushers start pulling and pulling and pulling.
Yeah.
Because they don't eat like we do. We don't have hands. So them crushers articulate, pull stuff in through their throats like a snake.
Pharyngeal
That's
teeth.
a good comparison.
Yeah, I mean, just like that. And those crushers.
Hey, that's what happens when my brother picks on me.
There you go.
Hey, that fits easier than I
That's
thought.
cool.
Yeah. That's what
That
you.
ain't even really stretched.
Yeah.
That's
No.
not him stretching.
Oh.
No, it falls right
All right.
in. You see that?
I mean, you get that water going and everything, and they start pulling, them crushers start pulling, and then watch this. This is how hard it is to get one out of there. See, now that fish, I mean, you'll have to grab them with a pair of pliers. and
Oh,
pull 'em
your
out of there, but
biscuits.
The trout's the same way. I mean, because you think about, okay, that trout's way
Put
too
a biscuit
big.
in its mouth.
No, that trout was going to eat.
That fish can eat that trout.
And look at him. He's already, look at him slipping. Look at him. His crushers are literally articulating right now.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. You see his crushers pulling it, actively pulling it down in there. That's exactly what's happening. That fish, even though it's, I mean, it's going to die, the natural just processes are happening, and it's, look at it. That trout's just start disappearing.
It'd be a whole lot easier too if his mouth wouldn't be held open.
Yeah. Look, he won't come out now because the crushers have got him. So you're going to have to grab him with a pair of pliers and pull him out of there. Yeah.
Cut him out.
Trout. This is fun. It's fun. This is really fun. So first 2 ponds that we went and visited this morning, man, Alan owned them. Essentially, those were management ponds. Those were like management jobs. And so what that means is we're managing that water because Alan wants to grow a certain thing in that water. And so that's why we took all those bass out. It's like the primary reason that we did that. I know a lot of you guys are probably like, you know, writhing in pain seeing, you know, 5, almost 6 pound bass being eaten, but Alan owns those fish, and that's not what Alan wants in his pond. What Alan wants in his pond is bluegill. Bluegill, and the first pond was catfish, the second pond was bluegill, and so that's what Alan wants in his pond. And so we have to take those trout and those bass out in order to not only drop the weight of fish in that pond, so like weight per acre, but also take out a lot of the big predators, so those bluegill and the little bluegill can grow and the bigger bluegill get bigger. I mean, so that's why we did that. This next pond that we're heading to, Shan has been working on for 2 years, and this is a pretty much like a big fish pond. Imagine like big deer hunting, except for it's big fish. And so in here, Shan said, you know, relative weight to length is like in the extremes, meaning they're just absolutely giant fish. He said the average size of the fish in this pond is about 5 pounds. So we're going to see some really big fish in this pond, and a lot of these fish we're going to put back. The only thing that we're going to take out are the really small, like squeaky looking fish, or any fish that don't hit that relative weight scale, which Shan will whip one of those out when we get down here, and I'll have him explain it to you. But this is fun. We're heading there now. We're going to go see what's this pond is like Shan's. This is his science project, and it's a cool science project, and so we're going to go see what it's all about. All right, so this is your baby right here. This is like your this is your science experiment gone right.
Yeah.
Tell me what we're doing. So this last pond, we took a bunch of fish out.
Right.
Because we talked about this on the drive over here, me and Bethany, with the camera, but Alan pretty much wanted catfish in one pond, bluegill in the other, so we were taking the bass out in order to get some weight of fish out of that body of water, and then also give those fish opportunity to grow. Why is this pond different?
Good question.
Yeah.
So we've had a good cross section of pond management today. You've had a good day in the life of a pond manager
That's
today.
right, that's right.
We had a catfish pond, a trophy bluegill pond, and now we're at a trophy bass pond. So this pond's only 2 years old. We stocked the bass in 2022. Biggest fish caught so far, I think, was 5'1".
Gotcha.
So today we are looking for, we're head hunting. We're looking for bigs.
Yep.
We're going to capture as many bass as we can. We're going to weigh and measure them for relative weight.
Yep.
And watch for any parasites that they might have, any deformities. I expect to see some scoliosis in these fish. These fish were feed trained at the fish hatchery, and when you feed train fish, you're jacking with them at a fry size.
Yeah.
And when you do that, they can get scoliosis.
Really?
Yeah, and so we might see a larger than normal amount of fish with scoliosis, but they're just like people. It doesn't affect their health. They'll live a health. They have just a little crooked back.
Yeah.
The interesting part about this pond to me is genetically. We've got northern bass and Florida bass stocked in here, and we've got them pick tagged. They scan like an item.
Yeah.
So they go boop and they tell us what's going on.
Cool.
So
That's it. Beep beep. That'll be a Florida strain.
I really wanted to do that and got that opportunity here because of the kind of misinformation or maybe different areas of the country. Bass don't all grow the same.
Yes.
So we're tracking that and recording it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. So I've asked Shan this question a few minutes ago, and he pretty much confirmed. This is as if you were going to Illinois and growing giant deer. This is a giant bass pond. This is what this is for. And so are we going to take any fish out today, or is everything going back?
Everything will go back unless it's just really underweight, really poor. You know,
it just needs to be cold.
If it's not growing, it's coming out.
Gotcha.
But for right now, it's so early in the process. You know, it's just this is a progress report.
Yeah, I dig it.
Yeah,
let's do it, buddy.
I thought you were gonna say get shot, so I stopped.
Hey Garrett, so pick me up over there.
Yeah, let's get Rudd on here. Okay, so we didn't see a whole lot of intermediate bluegill all around the pond. We feed them right here, and they're still floating everywhere. We just hit them. So I'm going to recommend, not because of the weight of the bass that we've caught, but they've been good, but I haven't seen enough of this around the rest of the pond. I kind of feel like there's a little overcrowding already starting in our third year. So we're going to put a slot limit on the 1-pounders this year and probably harvest about 30 or 40 of them. Now I'm just looking, there's a big male. That might be a female. There's a big male in here somewhere. So I'm seeing things. Got a bluish tinge to it. See how fat they are from the feed? So, like I said, it takes 10 pounds of bass for one bass to grow 1 pound, or 10 pounds of forage for one bass to grow 1 pound. If these bluegill are 40% heavier, a bass is getting like almost a 2-for-1 meal. But I would like to see more of this. We do not see much of that. You know what I'm saying, Alex?
Yeah.
I wanted to see a lot more of this. So that's where I'm coming up with my, even though my bass are okay, that's where I'm coming up, because like we did at the other pond, you know, a 1 pound, that's perfect size for a 1 pound bass, right? Where are they? They're going down the gullet of a 1 pound bass.
Yeah.
I need a few more, so I'm gonna thin my bass down. Forage like that is for tiny little fish, little bass like that. And then forage like this is for our bigger fish, like him. The northern fish have been really outgrowing the Floridas.
Let me do it again.
I don't know.
Well, the other one didn't scan.
Oh, there he
Oh,
went.
there you
Yeah.
They tagged him on the side.
They tagged them. Yeah, they're tagged about right there.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was.
Northern bass.
17.9.
Call him 18, 3-2.
I bet he's gonna come in at
3-1.
4.22.
Call him out.
He's doing all right.
That one goes back. Now, if he was the other way, or like the situation where probably, if we left this pond alone, Alex, we're gonna see 14-inch fish start dropping below 1.5 pounds, and that's my clue to
and
start
and these fish will still get big because they're gonna eat all the other ones. But that's what people think their pond is doing good because they have a few big fish. But this might be a Florida.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good Florida.
That's a thick fish.
16 and a half.
2-4.
298.
Killing it.
Perfect.
It's a good Florida right there.
So that fish has enough forage to reach its genetic potential, right? If that fish isn't eating like that, his genetics don't matter. He's got to put protein down his throat before you reach your genetic potential, right? Like, imagine starving somebody. How are you going to grow to 6 feet tall if you're not? If you don't eat any food as a kid, no, you're going to be skinny. You're going to growth is going to stunt.
15.7.
Say the word.
That heron's going to work.
Yeah.
That's
a
a
northern.
15.7, 2.4.
Good. Even though he's got damage from stupid
There
birds.
he is right there, Dusty. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not when it's on camera.
So even though the fish are weighing out right, we're still going to harvest some 1-pounders out of this pond this year.
This is a nice one too.
Because I'm not happy with what the bluegill population looks like.
It is a Florida.
Just floating past.
The northerns seem to
going
be
off
golden in
experience.
this pond. Florida.
Yes.
They're catching up now.
Those Floridas are marked up different.
17. Yeah, in this pond they are.
See is, look, after you weigh
They're not as yellow.
Yeah.
3.02.
And I'll tell you something else, is their dorsal. You see how it's, this is for me, I don't know if it's actually true, but how there's,
Tall it is.
how tall it is, but then there's separation in like the pinnacle of the spike, and then that like deeper V in between like the webbing.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
I've noticed with northern stream bass that they don't have that.
They don't
deeper
have that.
scoop.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, let's see if we
Those
can.
northerns seem to have that more yellow color to them. That's just something I've noticed.
In this pond they do, definitely. Looks like a generation 2. 13 and a half.
135, 14.
1.3. Is this the size you want to take out or put him back?
No, I throw him in the cooler. Don't put him in the pond. That's the size
Anybody
we're
got
gonna
a cooler?
harvest. How to properly weigh a bass or measure a bass. Wet the board. Get close to the dock.
And I'll tell you what else wet the board does to calm them down a little bit.
Well, it helps their slime coat a lot, Alex. You don't want the slime coming off. You close the jaw and butt the tip, and you fan the tail to as far out as it'll go. And it's, I'm going to call it 17 1/4 full, but 17 1/4. And we've got our fish. That's a northern fish. I don't know how his scale works. I got an on button there. What's the 17 say over there? 2.7? 2.7. So 17 1/4 should be about 2.8 would be the standard weight. Fish is weighing about 3.48. So
He's doing good.
yeah. That one's well on its way to becoming a very, very large fish.
Heck yeah. And what's that thing doing? Just so everybody knows.
That's a pit tag. We had the fish were surgically tagged inside their belly, so we could tell them apart, the Floridas from the Northerns. What do you think, Alex? Is that a Florida?
I'm going. That's a Florida.
16 3/4. So we're gonna look, halfway in between there is what, 0.5. So 2.6 pounds or roughly would be our standard weight. 2.68. So that fish is probably like 101% relative weight, and that's how we know we release it. If it was under that weight, we would be concerned. But we're not concerned. You gonna jump for me? Come on, one time.
You're gonna chill right there for a minute. There you go.
All right, boys and girls, we're done. This was, I have to say, one of the funnest experiences that I've ever had. Shan says it gets old quick, but this was cool. I mean, it's cool because you get to really see what's in a pond or in a lake, right? And I think that's. I've always said I wish I could like just jerk all the water out of a lake really quick and see what's like where I'm at, and this like gives you the chance to do that. And so, Shan, thank you. Any final thoughts, buddy?
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Garrett, you're the man. I'm gonna have you on the podcast, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be there. Sounds fun.
All right. Yeah. And then Clint.
Appreciate you coming, man. You're welcome back anytime.
Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna take him up on that. I'm gonna have him on my podcast. He's always welcome on my podcast.
I've already
probably
been
gonna
on there 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, you need to come back again because we just need to keep hammering people like with the message. But
Sounds good.
as always, you guys are sweet, and thank you for watching.